Hello everyone! Welcome back to another streaming solo. My name is Mark, and today we are going to play 20 Strong, and we are going to play Tanglewoods Rose, the Tanglewoods Rose deck from 20 Strong. In case you are unfamiliar with 20 Strong, it is the basic core box here contains one deck, which this one does not come in this 20 Strong deck core box, but it contains one deck. This one contained Tanglewoods Red, by the way. 20 dice, which is where the 20 Strong comes in, a tracker chip, and a rule book. And then inside the deck, you get all of the cards and another rule book that goes to that deck specifically. So I will probably explain this a couple of times during the stream because some people will pop in and I'll re-give that information along with how to play the game. But this particular deck of 20 Strong, every deck plays very, very differently from every other deck. Oh, by the way, this is Aowen, and she's kind of sleepy. Good girl. Every deck plays very differently from every other deck, though the Tanglewoods series, and there are 4 of them in the Tanglewoods series, all have kind of a running theme. And they're all basically just fairy tales, right? And so this, Tanglewoods Rose, would be the Beauty and the Beast. And so we are playing as Beauty. And the Tanglewoods heroes have 2 sides. So we're starting, this is the starting side, as Beauty Scholar, and we can become Beauty Warrior. That will happen if we have 3 or more items. So this particular deck, the goal is to go through this entire stack, this deck, in fact, of enemies. And most 20 Strong decks have a specific final boss. This one does not. There are 3-ish bosses in this deck that will come out as they come out, having shuffled it. And they will go off to kind of the side, and I have to deal with them in a slightly different way. But what will happen is, in this particular version, in Tanglewoods Rose, we will have an activation round where I will deploy enemies from this deck. So I will draw this top card, and whichever letter, A through D, which corresponds to these 4 tracks coming at me, whichever track that states is where I will put this enemy. So I will take this enemy, I'll flip it over obviously, and I'll put it up there. Then I can do that any number of times, and each time I do that, I will gain a reward from this card. So every time I deploy one, I can choose to gain a random item. I can choose to flip a location to its daytime side, more on that later, or I can recover up to 2 dice. And you start this game having exhausted one of each of the 5 different colors of dice, of attack dice. And there are 4 of each color except for the red, which there is only 1 of. And I'll go over the dice a little bit later. So once that happens and I choose a reward, then I can choose to go again, and I can keep doing that as many times as I want. Then I will commit dice to attacking the people, and then I will roll them, and then apply them, and then we will have, and I may destroy or destroy, I guess, for lack of a better word, enemies. In so doing, I will put them off to the side and deal with them during the gain item rewards phase. But then anything that has not been destroyed will move toward me. And anything that comes off of this front one will deal damage to Beauty. Now, and then at that point, I will exhaust all the dice that I used, and then I can recover, and my recover stat allows me to recover 3 to begin with. And then I'll gain item rewards, and then I will clean up, and then we have this day tracker here that starts at 15. We're doing the difficulty level of 5, which is the recommended for an experienced player. For an experienced player. When I did my practice game, I decided to go with difficulty 0 because I'd heard that this was a very difficult deck. So I went ahead and did that, and I actually didn't have much trouble after getting into it, beating it. So I have 1 win under my belt on this one. But that was the first time I'd played Tanglewoods Rose, so this will be the second time. Anyway, so once you decrease the day tracker, then we move back to activation. I can lose if the day tracker reaches 0, or if I lose all of my health. So I start with, or Beauty starts with 3 health, and 2 strategy, and 3 recover. Is that I think that's the name of the stat. We'll double check here. Actually, it's probably better to look in this one. Recovery, yes. So you have health, strategy, and recovery. As long as we're looking at this, let's go ahead and discover the dice. If you can see that, hopefully you can see that. I wonder, did this? I may not have focused on the on here as well as say here, which is where the table is. So we're 4 inches below that, and we're a little less focused, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So every die has, well, actually, not every die has misses, but there are misses, basic hits, and critical hits. And so that is indicated on the, here, I'll show the green die has, that would be a miss, that would be a hit, and that is a critical hit right there. So what you can see on this die, each of the different colors, I'm just going to go ahead and lay them out next to each other here, and I'll pull that red one over for the time being. You'll notice that each of these has more little pips, for lack of a better word, on the circle around it. And actually, I'm going to put these all on misses so you can see it a little easier. And again, I can't do that on this one. So each of these little pips is how many hits are on that die. And that includes critical hits. So for example, this yellow die here has 2 hits. One of them is a regular hit, and the other is a critical hit. And all the other die faces are misses. And so that's true of all of these dice. The purple die has 1 miss, all the rest are hits, and there is 1 critical hit. And the red die has no misses, and it has 1 critical hit. So that will come into play later when I'm strategizing on my dice rolling. So you'll see that. Also, enemy health, enemy damage, that's not relevant. When this symbol comes up, hopefully you can see that. You know what, I'm just going to hold this here. There you go. Activate an additional enemy. That means I have to pull out an additional enemy from that deck, and I do not get the deploy rewards, or what is that called? Yeah, deployment rewards. Then you have instant, ongoing, and single use for those little icons, and then after, during, and special for abilities that enemies have. Oh, that's funny. The green die shows through. Kind of. It's a little bit more, it's less green. Or I should say it's It's a lighter green you can see here than it was showing in that camera. I wonder, just for the sake of curiosity, if this this die is clear. That is so funny because I have a green screen here. It's green, you can see, but if I put it up here, it becomes clear. That is so funny. Okay, I will marvel at that later. Oh, hi, Aeon. Do you need some loves? You are so cute. Okay, so I think it may be time to just go ahead and start playing. So, and other rules will become clear. This is actually a quite complex deck here. Tanglewoods Rose is. So we will get to it. First of all, my, or rather Beauty's ability on the Scholar side is anytime you gain a random item, draw 2, choose 1 to keep, and discard the other. So I'll be doing that a lot because when she has 3 or more, then I get to flip this, and then I can discard an item to put 2 exhausted dice to critical hit and then apply them to enemies. However, because she has a strategy stat of 2, which does multiple things, I can only have 2 items at any given time, which means I'm going to be working to increase that stat. That's actually one of the most important stats in this particular deck. So, yes, let's go ahead and do that. So, I will just start the game by deploying, yes, we will deploy this, which is a Watchwoman, to column 4 or column A. And that's going to go there. No special text. Let me see. Oh, no. Okay, I might have to readjust this just a little bit so you can actually see. Yeah. That may be difficult to do. Let's see if I can. Can I zoom in or zoom out? I cannot easily zoom out on here. Well, I'm just going to have to do it. So I will have to. You are going to get to see Fayoin over there. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so that I can get that in there. There we go. That's better. I should have checked that beforehand. There we go. Okay. All right. Time for a drink. All right, so we have a Watchwoman. Now, there's 2 symbols on this card. That top symbol means that one of these 3 boss-ish superpowers comes into play. And then the other one on the other side here shows that is called Eclipse. Flip each daytime location this unit moves or is displaced onto over onto Nightmare. And ooh. More on that later. Okay, so I've deployed something. Now I get a reward. So the first thing I'm going to do is recover 2 dice because I need that red die in play. Okay, so then we'll go again because that's not that big of a deal. This will go in column B. Oh my gosh, right away we get the other 2, as you can see here. The other 2 baddie abilities. And this is the Platypus in Boots. And that will go right there. And then this ability means that I have to immediately deploy another one. And this is the squib. Oh, yay. So when squib activates, so first of all, I need to remember to get the reward. So hold on a moment. When squib activates, if there are any other items, if there are any other enemies active, place squib on the closest occupied location. Excuse me, I can read. To your hero, shuffling the enemy there back into the enemy deck. If the replaced enemy has dice on it, set them to misses and transfer them to the squib. Blah 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 blah. The squib has +1 health for each miss on him. So, since there are two at the same distance, I'm just going to pick the platypus in boots because that's a more difficult one. And we're going to put the squib right there, and this guy gets shuffled back in, which also means that these two are no longer active for the moment. Okay. And we are going to shuffle. Now, the question is, shall I keep activating enemies? At the moment, by the way, one of the things that strategy does for this particular deck is it indicates my range, meaning I can only shoot. I can only shoot up to a range of 2 right now. So that's this row, which means I can't even do anything with these guys. So in this first round here, I basically won't be doing anything in the strategy phase because there's nothing that I can do. In any case, though, I will go ahead and gain 1 random item for the activation of that enemy. Even though the second one came out, I still did 1. So on this, anytime I gain an item, draw 2, and these are drawn from the bottom after shuffling, gain 1 and discard the other. So we have the BFG immediately, and these are both one-time uses. Immediately defeat an enemy that currently has a critical hit on the red die applied to it. Okay. That's all right. And then we have Earthbound. When an adjacent enemy would damage you, and adjacent is in range 1, regardless of where it is. Would damage you, ignore the damage, and instead move it to the range 4 location on its current path. Okay, I'm not sure I'm going to worry about that. Now let's see what the better powers are on the other side. The strategy gold reward costs 1 fewer gold, and then all hits on the red deal +1 damage. Dude! I love that red barrel, but I think I'm gonna need the sound stone before that because increasing strategy costs 5. So I'm going to take Earthbound, and we're gonna discard the BFG. Okay, I think I will do 1 more just to stay safe because there are, I believe, oh, I forgot now. I want to say there were 43 cards in this deck. Divided by 15 is just under 3. So I want to average about 3 enemies per day, otherwise I'm going to run out of time. So we'll go with 1 more. This will go in column C. No, it won't, because this is a boss. This is the Cauldron Chef. Each time I pay any amount of gold, he will deal me 1 damage. And he will go over here and we'll turn these 2 over as long as he is in play. Now, he is considered to be at range of 6, which is a big problem for me because I have a range of 2, and the only way to increase is to exhaust dice for just this round, and I will have to exhaust 4 dice to get to that range. Oh boy. Yep, but I am seeing a light at the end of the tunnel here. So, I'm going to call that good, but I did activate 1 more enemy. So I will I'm going to gain another item. So I get to draw 2. And we have Pazuzu's Petals. Upgrade up to 3 other items in your inventory. Ooh, that is excellent. And then the Waning Rose, while the day counter is at 5 or less, you may recover up to 2 additional dice during your recover dice step. That could be useful later, but not right now. Okay, and then the Snow Globe, choose a stat die and roll it, setting that stat to the rolled result. Oh, I might have to do that right now. Yeah, in fact, as much as I like Pazuzu's Petals, I'm going to discard that, and then I'm going to gain the Snow Globe, and then I'm going to use it immediately, and I'm going to re-roll my, I always forget the name of these things, strategy die, because the only 1 on this 6 would be worse than a 2. And we got a 3. Okay, not great, but better than the 2, and for a pretty cheap price. Good girl, Aowen. So we now have a range of 3, which means I can attack enemies up to there, which this is great, actually. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. Flipping over for me. Let's see if I can make it so you can see her. Nope, no. Oh, maybe I can. There we go. Now you can see her. She kind of looks like an alien from Aliens, from the movie. She's curled in on herself like that. Okay. So now I will need to commit dice. So I'm going to go pretty strong on this because I want to kill this guy, because that is a big problem. But I first need to choose a column to be in, and I'm going to choose that column so that I can take out this squib if necessary. Because that's the other thing, is in order to move columns, I have to exhaust another die. So we've got these. We've got this one. I'm hoping for critical hits on at least 1, maybe 2 of those. And I'm going to go big. I can always increase the number of dice because I will have that That's another thing this strategy die does, is it gives me that number of rolls. So if I miss it in this first roll, I can roll again, and same thing, and roll again. So I have 3 total rolls. And each one of those times I can add more dice to the dice pool. So in that case, maybe I will drop the blues and add these, so I have more rolls for those. Okay. There's a lot of dice to roll for this early, but there's good reason for it. Okay, those are misses. I will re-roll those. Those are regular hits. Actually, I will use those to increase my range. There's another miss. Oh, very nice. We got a couple of critical hits and several regulars. Okay, so I'm gonna exhaust these 2 and this one to give us a total of 6 range. Then I will use these 2 critical hits to hit him. And since these are less likely to roll hits, I often just go ahead and use those right away. So we're going to use these on him. He is now taken care of. And we'll put that over there. That is the Rose Garden. Again, this particular deck has some weird rules for certain things. Oh, except that this one does have an instant power. So first of all, we'll turn these back over because they are no longer active. And I can flip up to 2 locations to their opposite sides, or I gain 3 gold. Well, I'm going to keep this for 3 gold. That is not... I guess I'll put that there. That's fine. Hi, Aowen. Okay, and these will be exhausted. All right, so then since I still have 6 range, I can hit the squib. So I like this 1 hit, so that's 1 of the 5 damage. And I'm going to re-roll these. So this will be roll number 2. Nice. I got a critical hit there. And I'm going to re-roll these. This will be roll number 3, so this is the final roll that I have. And that's 2 more hits, and that is exactly what I needed. So 2 more hits go on there. That's a total of 5. And that is enough for that. Oh, excuse me. That goes up there. Okay. So now we are in the suffer damage phase, resolve phase, I should say. So firstly, I suffer damage. Nothing is going to hit me, so there's nothing there. Then enemies take turns. So this one is going to move up, and because of this particular icon, A is flipped over, and that is horrible. Enemies there have 3 armor, which means if I want to hit that enemy, I have to exhaust 3 dice. That's not good at all. Okay. And that stays that way until I flip it over using some other, well, the easiest way is to use the deploy thing. Anyway, oh, I forgot to start my play timer on this. All right. Then we have exhaust dice. So all of these and these 3 are exhausted. And then I get to recover 3. So that was an expensive round right there. Then we have gain item rewards. So I'm going to check the squib out. I could gain an ongoing effect each time I suffer damage from an enemy. I can recover up to 2 dice. Well, I don't really plan to suffer damage from enemies, if at all possible. However, that wouldn't be that big of a deal for her because she only has 1 hit. Now, she doesn't hit me until she gets all the way in. But early on here, gold is going to make a big difference. So I'm going to take it as gold, and then I'm actually going, oh, I forgot. This is the discard pile right here. So I'll put that in the discard pile as the 3 gold so that I can use the 3 gold to upgrade an item in my inventory to that side. I now can pay 1 less for increasing my stat here, which means it costs, instead of 5, it only costs 4 gold, which is good because, as you can see here, 1 gold. The other ones are bad examples. Those are more powerful enemies. In any case, so we are now on cleanup and decrease the day tracker. We are on day 14. Okay. So we will deploy another enemy. This will go in column B. This is a goblin. And that icon right there, the torch icon, says it's a mob. After this enemy is activated, each other enemy on its path moves 1 location toward your hero. Well, thankfully, there's nobody else there. But I will have to activate another enemy automatically because of that. So I will do that in a moment. But I'm going to choose the gain 2 dice reward. Okay, and then this one will go in the B as well. This is Fladnag the Beige. And the goblin moves up because this is going into column B. And there can't be 2 enemies on the same space. Fladnag the Beige. Each time he moves, activate the highest value gold card from your cache as an enemy on the path of your choice. Well, what that means is I'm going to have to spend this gold ASAP because I do not want him to do that. So he will go there. Should I activate another one? That was only 1 activation technically because he came out as a bonus activation. So, can't see his thing there. I'm going to do 1 more at least. Oh, no. Also in column B. No! No. Okay, I gotta check something because this is horrible if it's true. So moving is different than activating. Come on. Bloop doop doop doo doodle doop doo 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 doo. Let's see. Activation versus movement. Okay, flip it face up, look at the back of the next card, see which path to add it to. Hello, Hella Deadly! Activate retreat while screaming. I agree with you, yes. All right, place at the farthest location. However, if they're there, first displace. Displace that enemy forward. Displacement is distinct from movement. Oh, thank God. Because if this was moved, then that would mean that he moves, which means this guy's activated. But because it says right here, displacement is distinct from movement, and he is being displaced, this guy stays here. Okay, so also critical hits cannot be applied to the crawling vines. In any case, this guy's going to move up, as is this guy, displaced up. And that will go right there. And that icon is the charge icon. When activated, move it down the path until they reach another enemy or are adjacent to your hero. Well, just right there, they displaced somebody, so obviously they're just going to stay there. The crawling vines. Okay, I think that had better be it for this time, because I need to take care of some stuff. Oh, for that matter, I have to turn that to nighttime because he was displaced. And I also did not take my deploy reward. And I think, because of that, I think I will flip that back over. So yeah, I'm going to flip this over. It's only one, but I don't have very many dice right now. So I'm going to have to flip that back over for my reward. Okay. So now we're on to engagement. And I'm just going to have to use them all, because this is a problem. So assuming they all get one hit, that is exactly the correct number of dice. So in that case, maybe I will save one just in case, because I will probably get at least one critical hit. You know, I don't know what that emoji, the normal key emoji, is supposed to be. Are you supposed to be a one-eyed monster going, or what is that, Halla Deadly? I've never understood that particular one. Oh no, I see it now. That's your head and you're going like this. I got it. Okay. I see it now. All right, here we go. This is roll number 1. Nice, I did get a critical hit. And we have one miss. So critical hit is going on him just right away. He is damaged or out of play. I can immediately recover up to 2 yellow dice, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to, actually, hold on. Yeah, I have to decide that now. So I'm not going to do that. So I will take him as gold, which means I have 4 here, and I will just go ahead and increase this to 4 right now, which is great. Okay. Then I have 5 more hits and a miss. So I will go ahead and assign these blue ones to him, and then I will re-roll the rest of these. All right, we got another critical hit. So yeah, I'll assign that there and this blue one as well. So that is 5 hits. He only needs 1 more. And yeah, I'm going to re-roll both of these. By the way, each time I do that, so this is my 3rd try, I now have, hey Josh! Oh no, doing better than you? Well, yeah. Let's see, I tell myself the Abyssal Forest in really. What is your sneaky trick, How Deadly? And how are you doing, Josh? Yes, did you win the lottery? That's funny. Okay, this is now my 3rd strategy phase. Each time I can choose to add more dice, but I cannot put any back once I've committed them. And that didn't get me any criticals, so I'm going to go one more time for my 4th strategy phase. And no criticals still, but that's okay. I will assign this one up there since I now have a range of 4, and this one right here, which is enough to kill it. The reason I did that is because I want to keep this one in play, and that one's going to stay there until the next round. So these go away with him, and that is going to be it for that. So we have resolve phase. I don't suffer any damage. Then everybody's going to move up 1. That will cause this to flip over. And this guy's just going to move himself up. Oh, that's good. I completely forgot that you can't apply critical hits to the crawling vine, so I actually didn't even need to do that other thing, but that's okay. Okay, so he moves up, and then we exhaust dice. So this one's still in my pool. We will exhaust all of these dice, and then I get to recover 3. So 1, 2, 3. I'll recover, obviously, those 3. Oh, the other one's up there. And then gain an item reward. So what do we have here? I can get 1 gold, or each time I defeat an enemy named Spellcaster, I get 1 random item. Well, I am going to keep that as that. There's only 3 or 4 of them in the deck, but since I've beaten him before that, this will be a useful card. So I will put that there. Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, I'm sorry, Josh, and you just recovered from the previous one. That really stinks. All right, cast Unseen Form Sorcery. Use Assassin's Gambit, Ash of War on a dagger, and have Talisman equipped. Wow! Just don't walk into the enemy. That's hilarious. Cheese Man. Awesome. Okay. Now we are on Decrease the Day Tracker. So we're on day 13. We have 13 days left. Okay, back to the deploy phase. So here is where I may have to go ahead and not deploy anyone. Because if I don't deploy anyone, I get to recover 7 dice. And that would be 4, 5, 6, 7. Now is a good time to do that. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to deploy anyone so that I have 7 dice to recover. I'm going to do that, which means I may have more of an issue in the future, but we're going to be okay. All right, so not deployed anyone. Then we have engagement. And so I will commit dice. Okay, so now I believe I'd better move over here and take care of the watchwoman. Yeah. And I think I will just go with 3. I'm going to not bother with him because I don't want to exhaust a die to move, and he won't be that big of a deal next round. Actually, if I'm going to do this, I might as well activate some enemies. And actually, I need to check another thing. In order to get rid of that this right here, armor, there we go. The armor keyword. Where did it go? 32 and 33. Here we go. What? Well, that's not incredibly helpful. Unapplied dice. Okay. So that was the answer to my question right there. Which means I have to have one in here and not apply it in order to invalidate that one. So I'm going to roll 4 dice here. Oh, that worked out. So I have that. I have to exhaust. It was exhaust, right? Yes. I will exhaust 1 die to invalidate or to take care of the armor there. And then I have a critical hit and 2 normal hits that will take care of the watchwoman, which means this is no longer applicable. And that is all. So we now have the suffer damage phase, and he is going to move. And then exhaust and recover. So I'm going to exhaust these and then recover them immediately. And then gain item rewards. So if I gain this as an item or a special power, I can change my path. Discard it to change my path, or I can just get 1 gold. And I think I will hold on to it to change my path so that I do not have to exhaust a die in order to do that. Okay. Then we will move the day up to day 12, and here we go. So we're going to activate a new enemy, Steve. Here we go. Steve right here. He's going in column D. And I will gain 2 dice for that. And then let's check out what's going on here. The game's Saturday, but yeah. 20 strong. Yep. That is true. But see, that's why, Josh, you can just come and watch me, and then you don't have to own them, and you can kind of get the experience. And eventually, I might have enough interaction that I can have you guys help me make decisions in the game, too. Yes, Al Deadly. Yes, Steve. So threatening. I wonder if that is the name of one of the designers of this. It's not on there. Where are the credits here? Not that one. Let's see, are there credits for this particular one? I don't even see a Steve in the credits for this. So they just randomly decided on the most innocuous name they could, I guess. Oh, yes. Keeping the card to save a die. Yep. Yes, you can, Josh. Pyramido and Thunderstone Advance? Thunderstone Advance, clearly. Okay, so I got my thing for that. I'm going to go with another one. B. Here we go, a Spellcaster on B. And this one is in the suffer damage step, the Spellcaster deals damage to you after moving, regardless of his current location. And he has 1 damage that he does. I will have to take him out. So let's keep going. Oh, hold on. I need rewards for that one. I believe I just have these 4 dice over here. So on this one, yeah, I'll gain another random item, which is, again, 2 random items, or 1 of 2. So we have a library card. If you would gain an item when your inventory is full, discard this to gain 1 health. You can still gain the item. And that could become the library key. Your inventory can hold 2 additional items. That is less powerful. So Wolverines, when a non-boss enemy would be activated, banish the red die to discard that enemy instead. I don't think that's a good idea. I've never liked that. However, Bloody Dawn, while all locations are daytime, you can ignore the first add modifier each round. That's a tough one because neither of these are my favorites. And this is kind of useless on this side. So I'm going to go with the library card. And hope, well, I'll use that as a discard later. Okay. Then, yeah, for that matter, what is it that I get to do? Discard an item to set 2 exhausted dice to that and apply them. Yeah, I like that. So, okay. Let's go for another one. This is in column C. We have another Watchwoman. So she will turn on Expose. And so in this case, if I suffer damage from an enemy, that would be the Spellcaster here, reduce one of these 2 dice rather than my health if possible. So yeah, okay. And then as a reward for that, I will go ahead and grab another item. Because since I've increased my strategy, I can have up to 4 items now. So we have Stone Shoes. Defeat an active enemy with Goblin in its name. I like that. Just discard this to defeat one. And on the other side, Curdy's Pocket Knife. Before each suffer damage step, you may lose 1 health to defeat a non-boss enemy with health equal to or less than the sum of my other stats. That's somewhat useful. Okay. The Pizza Wheel. After an enemy is defeated, take all dice applied to that enemy and apply them to any other active enemies, regardless of range. That's kind of cool. And on the other side, when a critical hit on a green is applied to an enemy, you may take an exhausted green and set it to critical and apply it to the same enemy. Man, these are pretty good. I'm going to take the Pizza Wheel. The Stone Shoes will be discarded. Okay, so as soon as you have 3 or more items, flip. So now Beauty is on the warrior side. And so I can continue to gain items, but as soon as I have 2 or fewer, then I flip her back over. But I could discard an item to set 2 exhausted dice to critical hits and apply them to enemies. I would like to get at least 1 more item before making use of that. But that's where that goes. So I think I might go ahead and go for one more. What was this again? Yeah. I think I will go for one more enemy. Oop. This one's going to go in B, so it's going to displace the spellcaster. And this is another Watchwoman. There's nothing else special about that. So this will go here, and the Watchwoman will go there. Have you tried Libby at Hall? No. It shows, huh, Deadly? That's funny. Right? Pizza. Well, this isn't pizza. It's a pizza wheel as in a pizza cutter, but it's a special, forked? No. Serrated one. But pizza cutter or stone shoes, yeah. I agree. Yes, I agree with the Libby app. Oh, that's what you meant. Libby. Yes. Have you tried Libby? Oh, at Hella Deadly. I see what's going on there. Yes, Libby is great. Audible is great too, but Libby you can get them for free. Okay. I did not yet get the thing for this, so I'm going to go ahead and get one more item in this one. Because we're on this side, I don't get to take two and choose. So I'm now at my max items. This is a guard dog. After an enemy is activated, roll all ready green dice. Apply all hits to that enemy if possible and return the rest to your dice pool. That's cool. If I upgrade it, whole. While 4 or more enemies are active, you may repeat the strategy phase 1 additional time each engagement. I don't think I need that one. So the guard dog is kind of cool. Okay. So we're going to move on to engagement. I'm going to choose this column for this particular time. And which dice are we going to use? So I often will use those. I'm going to end up using a lot of them here. We'll go for these, I think. Because I need to soon kill the vines. I must kill the spellcaster. I don't need to kill the Watchwoman. So I need 8 hits. And so that right there is 8 dice. And I can probably get away with this. And I can add more if I need to. So let's do that. In fact, I'm going to do this instead. And let's see how that goes. It is an aggressive pizza wheel. Oh, interesting. So I got a couple of misses, but I got 2 critical hits and 3 regular hits. So the critical hits are going to go right on the spellcaster, and the spellcaster is gone. And the cool thing about that is each time I defeat an enemy named spellcaster, I gain a random item. Well, stinky, because I can only have 4. So I guess I could use this to discard and set 2 exhausted dice to critical hits and apply them right away. I'll do that. Apply them to Steve. Steve, taking 2 damage. Okay. And then I get a random item, which is a catapult. Hear that, Aowen? There's a catapult. Ha 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 ha. So I can use this to roll all ready dice and then apply any rolled hits to active enemies, returning the rest to my dice pool, which is kind of nice. Or on the other side, a ballista. Each time I defeat an enemy at range 4, I can recover up to 2 of the dice applied to it, in addition to those. So that is what that does. Okay. Okay, that's right. Then I have these. I will apply this to the vines, and I need regular hits for the vines. So I'm just going to re-roll all 4 of these. So this will be strategy phase 2. I got another hit that I will immediately apply to there. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Okay, I gotta back up there. Well, I'm not at my best. I think I'm going to set up a game and learn since I'm not really doing much else at the moment. Then I'll feel like I'm playing a game with Mark. Absolutely. Cool. I'm glad I can put you in a better mood, Josh. All right, so that's a 3rd one. I'm gonna re-roll these again. So this will be strategy phase 3. I'm hoping, yay, I got a hit on there. And I got that. So we're gonna re-roll one more time for my final strategy here. That's 2 regular hits. Okay, so I will go ahead and apply 1 regular hit to the Watchwoman, but the red one's gonna go on the Crawling Vines so that they come back immediately. So Crawling Vines is dead. Oh, but I have to decide that one right away. Draw 3 items, choosing 1 to gain and discarding the rest, or I gain the gold. I'm going to gain the gold because I'm full already. Actually, no. I'm going to instead discard. Oh, hold on a moment. I could use the pizza wheel. Yeah, I'm going to use the pizza wheel. After an enemy is defeated, take all dice applied to that enemy and apply them to other active enemies regardless of range. So I will do that. I'm going to apply these 4 to the Watchwoman and this one to Steve, and they are now also defeated. But I then have to do this. I can draw 3 enemies, choosing 1 to gain items, and I will do that. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So I can get the Sling Stones for the rest of the round. You have an unlimited range, which I don't need. Or Rock Bombardment. At the start of each roll dice step, you can set a ready yellow die to critical and apply it to an adjacent enemy that doesn't have one already applied. Okay. Or we have the Tornado of Blood. Excuse me, Tondo of Blood. When an enemy would be activated in an occupied location, discard it instead to an occupied location. So I activate one of these, it goes to one of that spot, then I can just discard it right away. That's not too shabby. And that can become the Symphony of the Fight. Each time a daytime location is flipped to nighttime, gain a gold from the discard if able. Not too bad. I actually like that one better than the Sling Stones. I'm just not going to take the Sling Stones. Then we have Bean with Bacon. I can use it, lose a health, and increase the day counter by 1. I can flip it over to plunge into Armageddon. That's funny, there's a little sign on it. I don't understand. Is this supposed to be plunge? But there's no E on the end. Whatever. Armageddon Machine. While the day counter is at 3 or less, all critical hits deal +1 damage. I don't need this one either. So I'm going to keep the Tondo of Blood. And then I have to deal with these. So these are both gone, which, oh, no, she's still there, so. Okay. Steve. Okay. Now we are on to the resolve phase because I used all of my phases, so all of my strategy. Suffer damage, there's no damage to suffer. She's going to move up, which means this flips over. And then exhaust dice, and then recover dice. So I will recover these 3, and the rest of these are exhausted. Exhausted. Then gain item rewards. Okay. So I actually will keep them all as gold. And I'm hoping for one more gold at some point so that I can increase the recover, because recover in my mind is one of the most important stats. And without any boss, I don't need more strategy necessarily. Okay, decrease the day, so we are now 11 days left. Here we go. We have a vampire nesting doll. It's going to go in column A. When it's defeated, immediately activate a new enemy in the location where he was defeated. The bummer is he has this symbol, which is the charge symbol, and so he's going to go bump. Okay, then I will, yeah, I'll take 2 dice for that activation. We're going to go again. This is going to go in column C. We have the Molten Spirit, and he increases speed. And I cannot recover red or purple dice while he is in play. I might have to take him out. Ooh, I do have to take him out also. You know what? I don't have to take him out. I've got 3 health. I can just leave him and let it be. Because this doesn't happen either. If I let him go, if I let him hit me and just be discarded, then another one doesn't spawn where he is. So I'm going to completely ignore him. Let him be. Okay, I need a reward for that one. I cannot recover those, but I have all the ones that I can use here already. So I could recover a couple more. Yes, I will recover these. Because I might want to use the guard dog with all of those. Okay, we're going to do another one. This is also in C. We have a ravenous dwarf. This is actually a great time to use the Tondo of Blood, because he will force me to reveal another enemy without getting a reward for it. And I need to see if I do that, will I still not get deployment rewards? We're gonna have to look that up. This is one bummer about this particular Tanglewoods Rose, is there are some rules that are not super clear. So, would be activated. Well, I'm going to have to rule that I do not get a reward for that if I do that. Just because it makes a little more sense. Hi, Ripper! Oh, I'm way behind on there. That turn, yes, it was nice. Let's see. To start, it was a lot of Swiss cheese, but then I finally came across the Gouda. Tornado of Blood, yes. I like that as well. We'll just call it the Tornado of Blood, right? Go for the gold! Just need one more gold. Yep, I just need one more gold. It's like a feather anyway. Chip Theory does do a great job of answering questions on BGG, yes. And in fact, they generally have really good rule books. This is a bad example of that. This rule book is not great. I had to go to BGG yesterday when I was playing my practice game for this. I almost put it away and said, we're not doing this one. because this is not a good rule book, which, as I just said, is very unusual for chip theory. But anyway, this deck has some interesting things going on. But now that I understand how it works, it's actually quite fun. Okay, I am, boy. Or I could discard this and apply to, which is almost as good. But I will have to activate another enemy if I do that. So no, I'm gonna discard that for this. Okay, and we're gonna move on. This one also displaces him. Walter White. He's a white. Speaking of, I didn't even think about this. Who is Walter White? Is Walter White a person? Not spelled this way. W-I-W-H-I-T-E, I assume. Anyway, the first time each round that a die would be applied to him, exhaust the applied die, then put him on another unoccupied location in his current range, if possible. And so, he's also only one attack, so I might just let him be. But he's got 2 gold that he's worth, and his ability is pretty nice. Each time an enemy would be displaced toward me, I can place it in another unoccupied location in its current range instead. That could be really nice. But this moves up, and he's going to go there, and then I get another reward. And I think this time I will choose to... I'm going to turn this one back over. Yeah. Even though I'm going to come over here, I'm just going to do this early. I'm going to go there so I can hit them. All right. Just making sure I'm doing all the rules right. Okay, I'm going to do another one. This is going to go in B. This is the Midnight. Ha ha ha. When he's defeated, if no critical hits are applied to him, shuffle him back into the enemy deck. But he goes in B, and he would go forward, except there's someone in front of him, so that's a good spot for him. And I will flip over this one, because that's the 3, and I do not want to have to get rid of 3 for that. Actually, there's nobody there right now. I could do that if I put an enemy there. So I'm not going to worry about that. Instead, I'll gain another item. We have the Candelabra Cadabra. Candelabra Cadabra. I can use this to choose any active enemy and roll any of these until I get a critical hit, then returning it back to that area. Then I deal the chosen enemy damage equal to the number of times I rolled the die. If it would defeat that enemy. I like that. Or I could have it be a trophy room. If I've defeated 2 or more bosses, I recover an additional die during the recover dice step. That's awesome, but I have not yet defeated 2 bosses. I've only come up against 1, yes. And we actually have quite a few in this stack to go. Did I remember to reduce the day counter at the end of last day? That was too long ago. I can't worry about that, but I may need help remembering that if I forget. In any case, okay. I'm going to go ahead and go for one more. This will go in C, so this is going to bump them up yet again. Another Midnight, which is just fine. I have no problem with that. Okay. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to be here. And I think I'm going to use some items here. Boy. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I could have applied. Oh, well, that would have been a good idea. I'm gonna retcon here. I'm gonna say that I used the guard dog. Whoops. When Walter White came out, so I just get to roll all ready green dice, and anything that is a hit, I get to immediately apply to him. So. Although, would that activate that ability? Huh. You know what? Let's not do that. Just because that complicates matters in another way. So I'm going to forget that. Never mind. Okay. Let's... Huh. You know what? Instead, I'm going to use the Candelabra Cadabra. And I'm going to use this on Walter White. So I've chosen Walter White. I'm going to use this. I roll a yellow die until I receive a critical hit. If I rolled it at least 6 times, then Walter White is defeated. So here we go. Yeah, I know, so many items, so many things going on. I always forget about stuff, and then I have to go back and go, did I do that right? Should I just do it a particular way anyway? Anyway, okay, so that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. 4. 5. That's only a hit. It's not a critical hit. So, and actually it doesn't matter now because that is 6 times. And so I'm dealing 6 damage to Walter White. He is defeated. And that goes back there. Candelabra Cadabra was actually very useful. Okay. Then I think I might go ahead and use the catapult. Although, yeah, no, this is a good idea. I'm going to discard an item. So I'm going to see which one of these was... I definitely... Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to discard an item, the guard dog, to set 2 exhausted dice to their critical hit sides and apply them to enemies. So I will put one on the... oh, maybe I should put one on each midnight. Nah, that's all right. I don't need to kill that one right now. I'm going to put one there and one here because I need to kill him. And he doesn't die if he doesn't have a critical hit on him. So now I have 2 or fewer items, so I flip her back over to the scholar side. And I am now on the engagement, so I'm choosing this column. And we are going to roll some dice. Here we go. And so they each have 3 hits left. I don't need that many dice. And in fact, I'm going to go like that. You know, maybe I should plan on doing more damage to these guys and moving. So I'm going to do this. Yeah. I'm just going to go for the gold. All right. Nice. I got some critical hits there. Okay. Got to finish rolling the dice here that I committed. Okay. Ooh, we got a lot of misses here too. 2 more hits and 2 more misses. Okay, so first I'm going to apply these 2. I will apply 1 each. Then, yeah, I'll go ahead and apply the 2 blues, 1 each. They are now both defeated. Okay, yeah. Okay, I have these dice left that I've already committed, and so I'm going to discard this to change my path without exhausting a die, and re-roll all of these. Oh, nice. I got 2 more critical hits. So we will put both of those on the midnight and this one regular hit on the midnight, and he will be defeated. This is the second phase, by the way, second strategy phase. Okay, I'm not going to apply those. Wow, I used way too many dice. That's all right. No, I will apply that one. And then I'm going to re-roll this. This is the third strategy phase, and I got all the cool stuff. So that'll kill her. And then I have 2 more hits that I can't do anything with, but that's okay. Okay, so suffer damage. I'm going to take 1 damage because of this guy, and he will move in and go there. I now have a clear board. Then we're going to exhaust dice and recover 3. So I used too many dice on that round. I shouldn't have committed so many. We have all those dice that are exhausted now. Then gain item rewards. So firstly, yes, I'm going to gain this. So every time an enemy would be displaced toward me, I can move it, I can shift it instead, which is nice. Then I can use each of these. So recover a die for each location on its nighttime side, recover up to 1 die for each gold currently in my cache, recover 1 die for each gold currently in my cache, or change my path. I'll hold on to this to change my path again. I'm going to put, I'm going to put these 2 into my cache, and this one here, and then I will immediately use it to recover a die for each gold in my cache. And I have 5, so I will recover 5 dice. So that'll be 5 dice. Cool. And then I will use 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 gold to increase my recover to 4. Alrighty then. We now will decrease the day tracker. We have 10 days left, and we're back to deploying. We have in column C, not in column C, the captain. Each time a critical hit is applied to any enemy, you must either activate an enemy or exhaust 2 unapplied dice. That is horrible. All right, he's going to go over here. Oh, these can be deactivated because there are no more enemies with those. All right, so he's a boss, so he's over there. He's at range 6. I activated him, so I will recover 2 dice. And then we'll activate another one. The Dreamweaver will go in column A. If my strategy stat is 1 to 3, she has that. If it's 4 to 6, she activates the plus speed. And her health is equal to the sum of my stats. Well, that's not great because my stats at the moment sum to 10. I haven't looked at stuff for a while. I'm sorry. Let's see. Hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Mm-hmm. Yes, hope you feel better, Josh. Well, we're going to thank you anyway, River. Yeah, you could say it kind of is, Josh. This particular deck of 20 strong. I have six 20 strong decks. Yeah, I have 6 20 strong decks currently. I actually just backed the most recent one. I'm stoked for the Awakened Realms decks because Tainted Grail is one of them, and if you don't know it, Tainted Grail is one of my favorite games. And then also Nemesis and Aether Fields. I think it's Aether Fields. Those are going to be awesome. This fall, I'm so excited because a bunch of Kickstarters are going to fulfill. So anyway. Yep. Okay. There was that. I haven't got my reward for that, so I'm going to flip this one over. Okay, we're going to go for another one. This will go in column C. This is the sandwich. Sandwich. All right, all other active enemies have that when they move, they flip this over. If Sandwich leaves the active area without being defeated, then I get to gain 1 health. Interesting. And he doesn't deal any damage. Huh. And when I do defeat him, he increases any stat, or I get to gain 1 item, 1 random item, and upgrade it. So basically, I want this guy to get through. And while she is here, we have plus speed. That is going to be an interesting one. All right, I'm going to go... I need to get my reward for that. I'm going to flip this over. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Because if I'm going to let her come through... I'll gain 2 more dice. Okay, we're going to go again. This will be in column D, another spellcaster. I have to take care of this guy first, which means I better stop. But I'm activating 1 more thing, and I will gain another item, which means I get one of 2, and I will have 3, which means I will flip over Beauty to the warrior side. Elvish Impersonator. Shuffle any active enemy back into the enemy deck, then activate an enemy. Well, I don't like that one. What does it do on this side? You have +1 range. I don't need that anymore. All right, Spotlights. Flip all nighttime cards on a single path to their daytime sides. And Total Eclipse. Each time a daytime location is flipped to nighttime, you may take an exhausted die, set it to hit, and apply it to an enemy on the flipped location's path, regardless of range. Well, I will take this as my item. And I may or may not use that. Okay. Now, let's go to... You're done, huh, Aowen? I might have to get up and let her out, because I closed the door. Yep, she wants out. All right, give me a moment. This won't take very long. I have to move everything in order to do this. And we'll put Feowen back there. All right. That'll work. Okay, I want to take care of the spellcaster. However, oh, that is what I'm going to do. Okay. Exhaust an enemy or... Okay, I need to put 7 regular hits on the captain. So I'm going to use the catapult. No, if I do that, then I have to flip her back over. And then I can't use that ability. Dude. Oh, that's cool, Josh. And then you have to force us to play Earth. We'll be happy to play your copy of Earth. We just didn't like it enough to keep it. Okay, so should I do that? If I do that, I have to exhaust 2 unapplied dice each. You know what? I think that's worth it. Okay, I'm going to discard this to use her power. I will set 2 exhausted dice to critical, there it is, and apply them to enemies. I will apply them both to the captain. Every time I do that, I have to exhaust 2 dice. So that I traded 4 dice for 2 critical hits. Then I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to use the catapult. Use the catapult. I'm going to roll all of my dice in my dice pool. And I can apply any of the hits that I received. And anything that I didn't apply, I can put back in the pool. So, I will apply this. Oh, no, that's a bad idea. I will apply these 3 regular hits to take the captain out. Immediately, I can discard the top card of the enemy deck, or I can get 4 gold out of him. I'm going to get 4 gold out of him and immediately discard him to increase my recover to 5. Okay, the cool thing about that is that was all just apply to active enemies, so I didn't even have to increase my range to 6 to do that. Okay, so then I can apply the other ones. I'll apply this critical hit to him, and then the rest of these are going to go back in my dice pool. All right, now I am going to choose this column. That was my stomach, by the way. Okay. And I'm going to have to activate, well, let's see. I can let that be. And here's a question. Onto or over. Okay. So in other words, I wasted a deployment reward for flipping that over because she's going to come down. Yeah. I'm gonna commit 1 die. I'm gonna hope that this is a critical. Oh, and I have to put her back there. Okay. Oh, no way. First roll, I got a critical. Okay, so that's going there. He is done. I defeated a spellcaster, so I gain a random item, which means I get 1 of 2. So I have just a normal apple. Place just a normal apple near the enemy deck. The next time a non-boss enemy with add would be activated, discard it instead along with this card. I like that one. And each time you increase a stat, you may also recover up to 2 dice. Then we have Moat Piranhas. Deal 2 damage to each enemy adjacent to you that would be defeated by that damage. Each time you defeat an enemy, you may immediately change your path. That's nice, but I really like just the normal apple, and I am immediately going to use it. Okay. Then we have the resolve phase. So these guys have to move, and they move 2 because of her. So this does that, and then she moves down to here, and this guy also moves down to here. And that is all. So now I exhaust and recover. So I exhaust these dice, and then I'm going to recover 5 of them, which is awesome. So I'll recover those 5 because my recover stat is now 5. And then gain item rewards. So this guy, you have unlimited range for the remainder of this round. I don't care about that. So he will become gold. And we are now on day 9. Back to activation. So here we go. Oh, we have the final boss. Not the final boss, the last boss of the 3. I believe there's only 3 in the deck. And he activates this. Oh no! Oh, shoot. That wasn't good. I believe I have 2 health. Okay, all enemies have 1 additional attack, which means this guy will hit me. But if I can take care of that. Okay, and each time another hero is defeated, then I lose 1 health. So I really have to take him out first. Why is this over here? Oh, because I was looking for bosses. I believe there's only 3 bosses in this deck. Okay. And I need a reward for that, so I will... Yeah, I'll gain 2 dice back. Okay, we're going to go again. This will go in column A. We have the Weevil D. After each apply dice step, if any dice were applied to Weevil D, trigger his increase again. So, oh, right. I have my just a normal apple. He would be activated. I discard him instead along with this card. So he does not come into play. So we will do a different one. Column C, we have another Watchwoman. And this does do that. All right, and I will gain another item for this one. So we have the Pogo Stilts in the Suffer Damage Stilt, the Suffer Damage step. For each damage you would suffer, roll a green. On a miss, ignore the damage. On a critical hit, suffer an additional damage. So, and then that would become the Imitation Grill. At the end of each recover dice step, you recover all exhausted yellow dice. That one I actually really like. I'm probably going to keep this and try to upgrade it. Turkish Delight, recover up to 1 die of each color, or High Chair. While your health is at 1, your critical hits deal double damage. Yeah, we'll discard that one. And then I'll reshuffle these when I next get an item. Okay, that was for that. We'll go again. This will go in column A. We have the Goblin Mob. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Moves 1 location. Okay, well that's at least good. Because the Goblin Mob causes this to happen. But it just moves them up 1. Okay. Then I will... What will I gain this time? I'm gonna... Oh, still, all of the guys turn them over to the nighttime side. So that's not going to be useful. No, I will go ahead and gain another item, which will flip her back over. Yep, what Sarah said. Right, Josh? Okay. Back to the Spotlight and the Moat Piranhas. Doobity-doobity-doo. Oh, that's actually pretty good. At the moment. Yeah, I will keep the Spotlight. Oops. Spotlights. Oh, that's funny. It's a magnifying glass in front of candles. All right. I think I might use the Arts of War because this is going to be a massive problem. Especially with bolster here. Yep, I'm going to use spotlights, and she'll go back on the other side, to set 2 to critical hits and put them on the hunter. You know what? There's no reason why I couldn't do one more. Yeah, let's do one more. In A, this is the midnight. And I will actually use this power. Would be displaced. I can put them somewhere else. So I'm going to put this guy. Wait. Yeah. In another location at its same range. Or do I even want to do that? No. No, I'm going to leave him there. And then I can do that all in one go there. Yeah. Okay. And then I will recover, I think. Or do I want to get another item again? Yeah, I'm going to recover 2 more dice. Okay, I better call that good. I keep bumping these. I'm going to call that good. We're going to go over there. We're going to start committing dice. So here is the thing, is this, I've got a lot going on here, and I'd better just go for it. So we are going to, I'll go ahead and commit all of those. You know what? I'm just going to go for it. If I end up with extra somehow, because we've got 10, oh no, 11 health now, and 9 health and 7 health and 5 health. If somehow I defeat all of them, I can always use this to move over and hit the Watchwoman. So we're going to go all in on this one. Here we go. Oh, nice, a critical hit. Didn't get any more critical hits. That's okay, though. All right, the purples I will likely roll again, along with the red. But these blues I might not. So critical hit will go, oh, hold on. I'm going to have to exhaust these 2 to increase my range by 2. So now the critical hit will go there. I'll put one of these on here. He is defeated. Immediately, I can gain 1 item and upgrade it, or I will get 3 gold from him. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to immediately gain 1 item and upgrade it. And if it's not a great item, oh, yay. +1 range. Okay, well, I can, that's too bad. That's really too bad. I can discard it for her other power, which I might do soon here. Okay. In any case, we're going to re-roll everything here. And awesome, I got a critical hit there. Not really much else, though. Oops. So I will, again, re-roll those, and then we have misses. This is, by the way, this is strategy phase 2. So I will, yeah, I'm going to have to do these on her. I still need 11. So that means I need 8 more. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to use this to, well, you know what? I can do that. if I don't get it later. Yeah, I've got a couple more rounds. Okay, so this is the third strategy phase. And nice, we got critical hit there and a critical hit there. So that's 6, 7. We'll make that 8. And I will re-roll these. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and just do this. This is my final stage here, final strategy phase. All right, there we go. There's another critical hit. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. The Dreamweaver is destroyed. And I can banish up to 3 dice. For each die banished, roll a different stat die, setting the rolled result as the stat's new value. And, oh, okay. Well, I will banish one of the yellow dice, which is the worst. Oh, except if I do this, then I can recover all exhausted yellow dice. No. I'm going to banish a green die. I'll banish this one. I'm going to banish a green die, which means it is out of the game. It is no longer part of the game. And re-roll my health die. Let's pull these out. Well, that wasn't worth it. Yeah, that's too bad. So I did that, and it didn't give me anything. I would have rather had the 3 gold. Oh well. Here we are. Okay, and then I have 2 more regular hits, and I will apply these, or will I apply them? Maybe I won't. Thank you, Ripper. Faceplant. Bam. Any useful items? Cool. Okay. I really should. Well, I don't want to apply these because then I won't be able to roll them for other stuff later. But you know what? I'm just going to have to let it be. Speaking of, this and this are no longer in play. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and apply those to the goblin mob. And that is it. Oh, hold on. I could do this again. In fact, I will. I'm going to apply that there instead, and I will discard this, which it goes that way, to apply 2 critical hits there, and the midnight is now destroyed. And she's back to the other side. Okay, now I will be done. We are at the resolve phase, so we're going to suffer damage, no damage suffered, and he's going to move up. This guy's going to move up, and she will move up and flip that over. Oh no. Oh no. I just realized that I have to have exhausted 2 dice in order to attack her here. And I have to do that for him too. So I exhausted these 2 dice to do that. We're just going to say that. And those go there. And then he moves up. Okay. Yeah, that'll fix that. Mike! Hi. Okay. Then I exhaust dice. All of these go there. Then I recover, and I get to recover 5. So we're obviously taking the red and the 4 purple and recovering those. Then gain item rewards are empty. Increase the day tracker. We are now at day 8. I think I'm going to have to choose another day of not activating any. Oh, if I do that, I can't turn these over. Or that one, for that matter. But how many will I have to activate in order to make it so I can get enough dice back and also turn those over? Man. I'm going to have to do it. Okay, here we go. This will go in column A. The Vortex Mirror has +1 health for each item in my inventory. When it's defeated, discard 2 items. I forgot about that. I forgot this thing existed. That really stinks. All right. So be it. So for that, I will, well, you know what? If he comes in and hits me, that's not going to be that big of a deal. So I'm actually going to ignore him. I'm going to do this for the Vortex Mirror. Okay. I'm going to bring another one in. This will go in column D. This is another spellcaster. And for that one, I'll flip this one over. Okay, let's go again. D again. This is a goblin. So I will shift the spellcaster over here. Goblin will go there. There's nobody else here, so they don't move. But I do have to play another one. But I'm going to gain 2 dice for that. And then this one is just a force from the other one, which means that's going to shift over there. And he will go there. Memento Mori. And he causes this to happen. Oh, that could be a problem. After each time a hit is applied to it, if he is undefeated, subtract 1 to any stat. That stinks. Okay. Oh boy. So I really need to take out the spellcaster because he's going to deal damage to me no matter what. And then I'll want to take out the midnight. So oh boy. I'm going to have to do all of them. Here we go. All right. Wow. I got a lot of hits, but no critical hits, and that's what I really want, is critical hits. So I will be re-rolling those, but that's okay. I will apply... Dude. I will go ahead and apply a single hit to the spellcaster and re-roll everything else. So here is number 2. There's a critical. Oops, that was a normal. That's fine. Okay, and I'll apply the critical. Yeah, I'll apply that to him. Okay, here's number 3. Man. Okay, well, I'll give the normal hit to him, and the spellcaster is dead, which means I get to gain a random item, which means I get 1 of 2. Just a normal apple, or the stone shoes. We're going to do the just a normal apple, and I'm going to use it immediately right there. Okay, and I get 1 more roll here. Man, I really need at least 1 critical. worse than not enough criticals. Phooey. Okay, well, so be it. I will apply these two here, and then I'm going to change my path. And I will apply this one here, and the midnight is defeated. Okay. So then we are going to do the resolve phase. So we're going to suffer damage. So nobody actually hits me right now, but he's going to move. Oh no! Do we still have the speed? Who had the speed? He's got the speed. Oh boy. All right, so he's going to come up and hit me for 1. And he goes away. Thankfully, gosh. Then this guy is going to move 2. Then this is going to move 2. Then he's going to move 2. He's going to hit me, but he doesn't actually... Oh, shoot. Hold on. We have that, which means expose. I can't do this, which is actually not too bad. I'll reduce my recover instead of health. Okay. This guy comes out, which means I gain 1 health. Then the watchwoman is going to move 2, so she's going to flip both of these over. And the goblin will move up 2. Whoo, we're getting down to it now. We might have a problem on our hands. Okay. Exhaust and recover. So I'm going to recover. Oh, this is exhausted too. I recover 4 dice this time. So it'll be these 4. Gain rewards. Unlimited range. Recover up to 1 die for each gold currently in your cache. Sure. I'll do that, and then I will use this immediately, and I will recover 3 more dice. And then I'm going to use these to upgrade this. That's too bad we're past the recover dice phase. Oh well. I'll have to wait until the next round to use that. Okay. We are down to day 7. How many cards do we have left here? Don't fail me now. It's 14 cards, so as long as I do 2 per day, I still will win. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Put that over there. Okay. Do. Activation. Boy, I need to take him out, and I need to take this out. Dude. And the watchwoman. Man. Okay. Activating in column B. Oh boy. Platypus in boots. And he's going to activate this one also. That is a massive problem. So I will probably be in this column, which means he's going to make it home. Yep. I'm going to have to let him through. No! That means he's going to make it through too. This is a problem. Okay. What shall I do for this? I think I'm going to flip this over. Yeah. All right, then I will activate another one in column D. This guy too. Dude, Vengeful Fairy. Wow, we got all of the special powers activated at the end here. Oh, I do have the apple. You're right. I can get rid of that one. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate that. So then he comes out in D, and that's when I did that. Okay, that's really good, which means I really need to take care of him. So we'll see that. Okay, moving on. Another one in column D, the Midnight. So I'm going to shift him. Yes. I will shift him over to the Vortex Mirror slot. And the Midnight will go here, and he has to he comes up because he has speed. All right. And for his activation, I'm going to gain another item. We have the Wolverines and the Bean with Bacon. Neither of these are all that awesome. We'll go with the Wolverines. I kind of need to do another one so I can get some more stuff going on. Oh, and she's back on the other side. We're going to go with one more. In column B, of course, is going to displace that one. Oh, that was a bad choice. We have the Torch Bearer. Haha, it's a bear. Beef bacon is awesome. Absolute shambles. Yep. You're not wrong, Ripper. Okay. So I have to shift him. And I'm going to put him over here. And then I have to do another one immediately, and I don't get... Oh, but first I will... Yeah. I'm going to get 2 more items. Or 1 more item. Oh, we have the BFG. We're going to go for the BFG. All right, and then I have to put this one in column B again. The Spellcaster. Oh, gosh. That was a horrible idea. And I don't get rewards for that because that was an ad. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. I just need to do all of them. And we're going to go here so that I can take out the Watchwoman. Because as of now, and I'm going to have to take him out. As of now, oh no. I don't have any yellows, so I can't even take him out. Because he can only have the critical hit on a yellow applied to him. So he only takes 1 damage, but I can't do... Oh, but I can do that with that. Yes. Bummer is I'm gonna have to exhaust a die to move. Maybe I should just let her through. Man. Yeah, I have to come over here and take that out after this. So, and apply them to enemies. Yep, I'm going to come over here. And I will discard this in order to use her special ability. I will take 2 from here and apply as criticals and apply them to enemies. So, boom, he's gone. All right. Then the other one... Oh, I'll just apply it to her. And then she's also out. Okay, so that means that this is no longer in effect. And this is no longer in effect. So only the plus speed, and that's because of him. And I need to take him out, and I think I will use the red one on him with the BFG, and boom, he'll be done. He'll be done. So I can dial it back a little bit. I'm going to save the 2 purples. Oh, shoot, I need to take out the spellcaster. Okay, I can bring the 2 purples in later if I need to. So, here we go. Oh, boy. What was that? You don't... how deadly. Let's see. You trolled a streamer last night in Elden Ring DLC. Told him the hairy turtle amidst all those blue worm thingies with the red faces was worth having a close look at. He died many times for nothing. Oh no! Funny thing is, his chat let it happen. Oh no! Oh, that's funny. Okay, here we go. I got one critical, 1 regular hit, and the red is going straight on here so that I can use the BFG, because every time I apply one to him, if he's undefeated, I have to subtract from a stat. So I can't go down here because if this moves in, yeah. So I'm going to have to reduce my recovery because I need to be able to reach him. That really stinks. Okay, but I'm using the BFG, and this guy's gone. All right, then we have a critical here along with a hit. I will exhaust this one to move over, and I will apply both of those to the spellcaster, and then we're going to roll that, and that is another hit, and the spellcaster is done. Which means I get another item. And because she has 2, she's on this side, so I get 1 of 2. Hey, we have the Tornado of Blood again. Yeah, we will keep that. Excuse me. Oh, man. Hold on a second. All right. I forgot to grab a water, but Sarah is so kind. She's going to bring me one. Okay, resolve phase. We no longer have the speed. So this is, oh, excuse me, this guy goes first, and he's going to flip that over. Did I do that again? I forgot to exhaust something in order to attack that guy. Okay, anyway. Thank you. I dribbled on myself. These water bottles don't like to open without spitting water everywhere. All right. Yeah, so then this is going to move up. Then this guy's going to move up, as is this guy. Okay. Then we exhaust dice and recover dice. So I will recover 3 now. That really stinks. Oh, but because I have this, I recover all exhausted yellows. Which, that is awesome. Okay. Then we're going to gain item rewards. So I could use this to roll all exhausted dice and apply all of those to the enemy with the highest health. Not a bad idea. Oh, yes, I will be using that. Oh, that's a good combo. I'll put the Vengeful Fairy in here, and now hits on here, regular hits with the yellow dice, deal 2 damage, which basically means they now have a 33% chance to critical hit, and a 66% chance to not do anything. Oh, I was going to do that. Okay, so then I have another one where I could change my path. I really better keep that too. And then the last one, I have unlimited range, which I don't care, so I'm going to keep that one there. All right. Oh boy, we're getting close here, but we have some problems. So, yep, here we go. Okay. This will be activated to column C. Oh, man. It's another goblin. That doesn't do anything because there's nobody here, but I have to do another one right away. But first, I will recover 2. Okay, I'm doing another one right away. Also in C. Ho! Okay, we're going to use the Tondo of Blood right away. Right? In groups, adjacent to you, immediately activate 3. Yeah. So we're going to use the Tondo of Blood when an enemy would be activated to an occupied location. Discard it instead. Discarded. And now she's back on the other side. Okay. That actually worked out because that was the thing there. Okay, we're activating another one to D. Oh man, this makes them faster. This is the Beast Hunter. His attack is reduced by my health 3. So his attack is normally 6, but because of that, it is actually 3. Well, I don't like him. Okay, and should I recover more dice? Or I don't think I'm going to end up attacking him. I'm probably going to do this and then shift over. Actually, I'm going to end up doing this. Roll all exhausted dice and apply them all. Oh, to the highest, which means they would go on the Beast Hunter. So I can't even do that. But I have 3 health. I can let that go. So I think I'll stay over here. Yep. All right, should I go for more? 6 left. I have plenty. Oh, I forgot to do that. I may have forgotten another one. Oh well. Okay, we're actually going to call that good. So I'm going to move over here. And I think I will go ahead and use this guy now, the Memento Array. I'm going to roll all of these, and any that are hits go right on the Beast Hunter. Whoa! He is done. That is 3 criticals and 2 regular hits. And so that's 8 hits to him right away. And so they go there. Boom. And this one just goes there. Sorry. Admission is free, just pay at the door. Pull up a seat and sit on the floor. That's hilarious. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, and the BFG is the, as you said, gun. The big frickin' gun. That's what it is. Okay. So that was that, which is awesome. And I think I will go ahead and be here so I can take care of them. However, alternatively, if I come over here and take him out, This only does 1 damage to me. And I can take care of him later. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, always going to roll the yellow ones now because I get them no matter what. Then we will go with the purples. You know, we'll do this and see what happens. Ooh, nice. We got a critical hit there. By the way, the mirror has 7 health because it's +2 for my 2 items. And we didn't really get anything else on the rest, so I'm just going to re-roll it all. So this is number 2. We got another critical hit. Nice. And this counts as a critical hit because it's a yellow die. So that is 6 on that one. Yeah. All right, we're going to roll 3. This is the 3rd roll. That is another critical, but we're going to do a single hit to take that out because that's 6, 7. So he is done. Oh, shoot, I forgot. I have to get rid of 2 items. No! Well, that I'm not too upset about, but this one I am. Man. I should have gained another item. I'd completely forgotten about that. Yep, well, there's nothing for it. I lose these. That really stinks. Okay, well, that was these. Yes, that was those. Okay, and then I will use this to change my path. Shift over here. This is 2 hits, so the goblin is also dead. And then I will do one more roll. Okay, sure, we'll go ahead and apply that. And this doesn't do anything, so this is just exhausted. Okay. So, resolve phase, everybody's going to move. That guy's going to go up. This guy's going to go up. This guy's going to go up. And then exhaust, and then recover dice. So I get to recover 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And gain item rewards. Yes, it is. You are correct. This is a Mass Effect hat. Wow. I could swing at the other guys? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. I used a thing to change lanes, if that's what you mean. Okay. Oh, and then I gained 2 random items with the Vortex Mirror. So here's 1, either the library card or the guard dog. We're going to go for the guard dog. And 2, the candelabra cadabra or the sling stones. We're going to take the candelabra cadabra. Yeah. Okay, and then the other 2, oh, immediately recover up to 2 yellow dice. I don't think so. Roll up to 4 ready dice. You may apply rolled hits to an active boss at any range. Return unapplied dice from this roll to your dice pool. That doesn't matter anymore because I'm out of bosses. So I'll gain these, and then I'm going to spend these as 3 so I can upgrade the candelabra cadabra to the trophy room, which means I now get to recover 1 additional die. So this is a 3, but it means that's now a 4. Okay. And it is now day 5 left. I better take him out. I'm just going to let him through. So, here we go. Column B. Oh no, we have a Rave Troll. In the apply dice step, holy moly, he has 20 health. Somehow I think I discarded him in the last game that I played. In the applied dice step, you may discard items to deal 5 damage to him for each item discarded. Tuck them under until defeated as a reminder. So he goes there, and I get a reward for that, and I'd better take 2 dice. Yeah. And then I have to add 2 for no good reason. Oh, there is another boss here. So this is the Scout. Speaking of, that was not supposed to be active, but it is now. You can only apply dice to the Scout if he is the only undefeated enemy active. And then I have to do 1 more, and this will go in column A. 3 goblins in a trench coat. The 3 goblins in a trench coat is defeated. Activate the number of enemies equal to your lowest stat. So he will go there. And because of this, he pushes the torchbearer up. So, should I just go again? I'm going to do 1 more because I need an item. This will go in column A, so that means he's going to shift. Aww. Well, whatever. Okay, so he's going to shift. This is a goblin. The torch means that this one comes in and just hits me for 2. So that puts me down at 1 health. And then this guy is going to go, I'm going to put him over here. Okay, but because of that, I get to gain another item. And I can get the pizza wheel or Pazuzu's petals. Upgrade up to 3 other items in your inventory. Or after an enemy is defeated, take all dice applied to that enemy and apply them to other active enemies. Yes, I would like to do that. Okay, now she's on the other side. And I have 2 enemies left. No, I'd better wait. Okay. We are going to go there, and I'm just going to use all my dice. Nice. There is a critical right there. Did we kill the big fancy guy? Which big fancy guy? Are you talking about the Beast Hunter? Or maybe the Hunter or the Captain? Probably the Beast Hunter is what you're talking about. Yes, Josh, you are absolutely correct. We are both close to victory and defeat, and it's going to be a close thing. Okay, so he's got 3. I need 2 more hits on him. I'm just going to take care of that now. Boom, boom, he's gone. There is a critical hit, so he does not go back on top of the deck. While I'm here, should I take... Oh, activate enemies equal to lowest stat. Maybe I should just let him be for now. Oh. But I will... Hold on a moment. Yes. I'm going to discard the guard dog before I applied those. Discard the guard dog to take 2 green dice, set them to critical hits. I'm going to put 1 on this goblin and 1 on the other goblin. They are now both dead. And in fact, they each allow me to recover up to 2 of the yellow dice. So I don't mind if I do. I will recover those. And they are done. Then I apply these to him, take care of him, and after an enemy is defeated, take all dice applied to that enemy and apply them to any other active enemies, regardless of range. Well, if I apply them to the Rave Troll, then I'm just using up the dice, whereas I could just discard this to deal 5 to him. Yeah, that's not worth it. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, then I will exhaust this to move to the Rave, in front of the Rave Troll, and I will roll all of these. Do I even want to bother? I need 3 total. No, I'm not going to do that. That was this. I'm going to stay over here and kill the 3 goblins in the trench coat, even though he's going to activate another enemy, because that gives me 2 gold. And that, with this, will allow me to increase my health, so I won't have to worry about the Rave Troll. Okay. That is plenty to kill him. And in fact, I will apply these. And he's done. I believe this is 2, right? Yeah, that was phase 2. Okay, so then I have to apply this guy to a Swarm of Bats. When Swarm of Bats is activated, take all yellow currently in the exhausted area, set them to misses, and place them in Swarm of Bats. Well, that's fortuitous. There are none there. For each miss on this card, he has +1 health. So that doesn't even happen. So, oh, I forgot. When I did this, I immediately can gain 1 random item and upgrade it. No, I want to keep that as gold. Okay, so that's going to go there. None of that happens. I will exhaust this now to move over there, and I'm just going to apply all 3 of these to that. And that happens. And then that's it. Yep. Oh, and this is back on the other side. Okay, so now we are on resolve. So he is going to move up. And nothing else happens there. So exhaust dice, and then I will recover 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the rest of these are exhausted. Oh, excuse me. He moves up 2 because of that. Okay, then... yeah, I'll put that there, and then recover up to 1 die for each gold currently in your cache. I have 3 gold, so I'll recover 3 dice. Burp, burp, burp. And then I will spend 3 dice, or 3, 3 gold, to gain 1 health. And now I don't need to worry about him. All right. Yeah, Mike, I want to ask you what you thought about Pragmata. I'm very interested in it. Sarah was less interested. I was considering playing it on the channel, and then Sarah was like, "Nah, that doesn't sound like something I'm interested in." So I was like, "All right, that's fine." I totally understand. Okay, back to this. Decrease the day tracker. 4 days left, and we have 1 here. So this will go wherever I want it to go. And this is a Weevilldum. After each applied dice step, if any dice were applied to Weevilldum that step, trigger his add ability again. Well, there's no more enemies, so that doesn't matter at all. However, he has expose, so I would have to take damage in one of the other ones instead, which is all right. But I'll try and take him out anyway. So I'm going to put him there, and I get to grab... What do I want to do with that? Yeah, I'll get another item. So shuffle these up yet again. I will either take the snow globe or... Good call, Josh. Yes, I was remembering that. Or the BFG. Hey, we're going for the BFG again. Oh, I can use that on the Rave Troll. Perfect. Oh, I just realized that's a crit on the red. I didn't realize that. I misused that the first time, which means that may not be the best idea. That's all right. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay. And, oh, you know what? I'm just going to discard this to take 2, set them to critical hits. And I will put 1 on the Scout and 1 on Weevilldum, because I will use the pizza wheel to move those over there, because I don't have to worry about that if, yeah, regardless of range and regardless of, oh, excuse me, I can only apply dice to the Scout if regardless of anything else. Okay, scratch that. In that case, I don't think I will do that just yet. Okay, we're actually going to win this at this point. I would be shocked if I didn't. So I just need I'm gonna use the yellow ones because I don't care about that, and those I will put over there immediately. You know what? I'm gonna roll the red one too. If I get a critical hit, I'll put it on the Rave Troll. Oh, but I'm gonna be here. So, oh, no way, I got a critical hit on that. So that will go to the Rave Troll, which means I'm going to have to exhaust a die to move over here, put this on the Rave Troll, use the BFG, Rave Troll is dead. And then I have to exhaust 1 to move back over there. That's all right. That was only first round. I will grab 3 more dice. You know what, at this point, I might as well use the rest of them and try to kill the Scout too. All right, there's a critical. And I'm going to re-roll everything else. So this will be 3. Whoa, that doesn't count. All right. Got another critical, and I'm not going to worry about it because this happens. That kills him. Pizza wheel puts all of these on him. I then have to use these two to gain 2 more range, so I can put the last one on him, and he is now dead. And I win! Ooh! Wow. Barely. That was a thing. So yeah, look at that. Let me see what else. Let's move those out of the way. Yep, leave it to Tweedledum to have an ability that is useless if you're the last card in the deck. Yes. Let's see. Oh, Pragmata, very good so far. Good story. I was kind of worried the hacking mechanic was going to get in the way, but it's great. Very smooth to hack. I've heard that too on reviews that I've seen. Yes. Thank you, Mike. I don't know anything else like Clair Obscur if we're not talking about Final Fantasy, because Clair Obscur feels very much like a Final Fantasy game. Thank you, Josh. Good game. I will say this is not one of my favorite of the 20 strong decks. I'm considering not keeping this one. Part of the reason for that is how long this is. So my stream here, that's 2.5 hours of the stream. So, and at least 2 hours of that was the game. And 20 strong is not supposed to be this long of a game. And it didn't have my favorite mechanisms in it. But I still really enjoyed both of my plays of this, even though the first one I almost rage quit in the first, well, before I even started it, because I was just trying to figure out how to play it. But yeah, I like the other decks better. Speaking of, oh, I forgot to grab that. Wow, got to get up again. Give me a moment here.
What do you mean, Sweet?
That deck right there, Cloudspire. Yep, thank you. This will be next week. We're gonna play Cloudspire. This one I expect to really like. I have not played this yet. I'm gonna do a practice game again on Sunday probably, before I play it next week. But I have really enjoyed pretty much all of the other decks. So, yes, you are right about that, Josh. Ripper, have a gray night. Have a gray night, Ripper. That's hilarious. Anyway, we're going to play Cloudspire next week. And this, if you thought this was kind of like a tower defense, this truly is a tower defense. This is more of, this game, Rose, was more of a waves of enemies coming in columns. And you have to, as you guys mentioned earlier, it's kind of like that old game that you guys said, but I've forgotten the name of. The old game where you're shooting in rows. Anyway, you know what I mean. Cloudspire is a tower defense game. I read the rules. I haven't played it yet, but I read the rules. Space Invaders, thank you, Josh. Where you have an aisle and you're setting up towers on the sides, and they are hitting the enemies. And so, yeah, this one is truly a tower defense game, and I'm really excited to try this out. In any case, that is 20 strong Tanglewoods Rose. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I did as well. And we'll see you next week for 20 strong Cloudspire. Alrighty, I gotta find my mouse. Where did the mouse go? Hello, there it is. All right. Do I like tower defense? Yeah, when I was first introduced to tower defense, there was a mobile game or a computer game. It was many years ago. The first time I was introduced to it, I was like, what is this freaking awesomeness? and I really enjoyed it for a little while, and then it kind of became a little samey, but that's all right. But I do enjoy tower defense, and we'll see how I like this. Defense grid. I don't know that one. Yeah. Well, in any case, there you go. That was the game. I had fun. I hope you did too. And I'll see you next week. Or I'll see you tomorrow for some Elden Ring, and then Thursday for some more Clair Obscur. All right. Bye-bye!